Um, Good morning. It is about 10:34 and we are starting our EAM7998 class session. I have Ashley on board and I have Elisa on board. So we're going to go ahead and start our session. We are recording, so those of you who are not able to join us on this morning, you will have the opportunity to watch this after we have completed if you do not connect with us prior to us getting off. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, Ashley and Elisa, and I will go through a couple of things with you. I hope that you each have had the opportunity to go through the Blackboard platform and see where we have established the syllabus is posted. So let's look at that real quickly. And if you have any questions regarding the syllabus, please let me know. On here, they have given me an office on campus, so it's room 247. However, I do travel a lot, so it'd be probably in your better interest to contact me via cell phone, and if we need to meet in the office at any given time, then we can make an appointment to do so. I do have office hours posted virtually, and so we can always meet during those times as well if you are unable to come to campus. We have the course competencies listed in the syllabus as well as student learning outcomes. This year we have placed the National Ed Leadership Standards in the syllabus for everyone, so you can see what those standards are and be familiar with those as you are moving through this program. If you have any problems and you need to contact Disability Services or Student Support, then I have that information listed for you as well. And also if you have any logistical requirements that you need to get in touch with the UCITS department. One of the things is, I think someone was saying something about them not being able to access Blackboard because of their software. Their software should not have an impact on Blackboard because it is its own learning platform. So it would not be anything pertaining to software. It may have something to do with possibly the operating system that they're using, or either it may have something to do with them not being connected with their Bulldog connection email and all of that information on the university side of the house. So they need to check with UCITS, and I'll try to get with that person to run a test with them also to see if we cannot figure out exactly what is going on. There are some expected measurable outcomes for this particular class. Of course, this is an online class, and we are not required to meet on campus. However, I do like to have at least 2 face-to-face sessions, usually one around midterm and also one around finals. And that's when you may be asked to do a presentation at one of those or possibly both of those. Otherwise, what I will do is from time to time schedule a Zoom session. And as I communicated earlier, if there is someone who is not able to be on the Zoom session during the time that we have it scheduled, then I will record the session and post it into Blackboard, and they can review it at that time. Your grade is going to be based upon your course participation, of course, in Blackboard with your discussion and your weekly reflections. Each week that you read a chapter, you're going to be asked to reflect on that chapter and just discuss some things that stood out with you. And we'll talk a little bit more about that before we get off of the call on today. You have a nifty activity that most of you have completed. I enjoyed watching your videos, and I have learned things about many of you in the class just from watching the video. And some of you are returning students to me, so I am very familiar with you. I think the first activity that you have up, or first assignment, is going to be the technology plan critique. And this, what you're going to do here is look at your technology plan that your district has to see if it has the 4 C's that are going to be discussed in that particular chapter. And so that's basically what you're looking for. And then you will kind of talk about how those 4 C's are pertinent to your school district. If they're not a part of your school district's technology plan, you may want to make some notes on that to see if there's any way that those 4 C's can be incorporated if they are not already. You will have a technology review. And of course, this will also require you to have access to some information from your technology department. Hopefully someone is willing to work with you on this, just to talk to you a little bit about how technology is set up in your school district or at your school and how it is working. And you may be asked to provide some artifacts of things that may be a part of what your technology plan is at your school, or how that is actually moving through your school or school district. You have web-based applications. Those things will be where you will kind of look on your website and also just kind of figure out what are some things that are impacting what you're actually doing at work. Is it impacting student achievement or anything like that? What type of web-based applications are being used for your school or school district? Then you have hardware and software evaluation plans. There should be a template in your textbook that will kind of talk to you about hardware and software evaluations. With that, you will need to probably speak again with someone in your technology department. So you need to become very, very close with your technology person to make sure that you're able to access these items and this information about your school district. Then you will be asked to, you can work in pairs or you can do this individually, to set up a professional or staff development activity. Because what I'm finding is a lot of times these school districts, they purchase all of this technology, but they do not provide the faculty members or the students with the support needed to be able to integrate this technology appropriately, and nor do they explain to them how they expect for this technology to be used. And so a lot of times teachers, they may use it every now and then, and there's nothing consistent. But what we do know from research is technology can impact student achievement. We just need to make sure that everybody is trained and that they do know how to do the integration and that it is used consistently. The other thing that we will be looking at is a technology financial plan. One of the things that we found in some of the previous classes is a lot of school districts may receive what is called a grant, and they may receive a lot of money on the front end to actually have technologies installed, or they may receive monies that provide them with getting all of these new technologies. But after that first 1 or 2 years, there are not any things in place for them to be able to continue or update or get newer technologies that are needed, because we know that technology changes a lot, and the fact that we are seeing a great need for technology use, especially with the types of students that you're working with now. So in, I think it's somewhere around the last chapter, you'll see something that talks about the technology financial plan, and you most definitely want to put something together for that. And you'll see also in the slides in chapter 13, I think it is 13.5 and 13.7, where you'll be looking at technology financial planning. And that's very important and critical for administrators to be aware of and teachers to know about. The outline for the course, of course, we're pretty much through to week 2, and I think everyone has completed their introductory video, and they are probably working on their peer review sheet. How that peer review sheet will work is whoever is reviewing your video, they need to put their name in that top right-hand corner, and then they will circle the number that is satisfactory to whatever the components are in the rubric, and then you will upload that in Blackboard. So that's how you would do your peer review with your partner or person that you choose. Of course, we talked about the technology plan critique being due in September, which is right around the corner. And I think it's September the 8th that it is due. We'll look at it in Blackboard in a few minutes. But with that, of course, here again, all you're doing is picking up the technology plan from your school district and seeing if it actually meets those 3 C's that are talked about in the chapter. Otherwise, you will look at a conference that you might attend. It does not necessarily have to be related to technology, but I would like for you to do something that will engage technology at this particular conference. And so you will do that, and then we may ask you to then write a proposal for the conference that you selected to see if you will be selected to be one of the presenters for the conference. This not only helps you with this particular course, but it enhances your professional portfolio as you move through the ranks of your teaching career. You will need to think of a research project, and I think that we do have some criteria for that for you inside of your syllabus that you can look at to help you look at. I ask you to do these things early on because a lot of times as the semester progresses, your schedules become busy. A lot of people get down, Dr. Fields, I don't have my research project complete. Well, if you completed your outline, then you should be about 40% ready to go ahead and finish. At least you have the outline that you can look back at and figure out what direction you were trying to take. So that is why your outline for your research project is requested so early in the semester. Let's see. Other than that, I don't know that you'll have any other concerns. Everybody likes to know how will their grades be calculated. And of course, this is your method of evaluation and grading. And here is the actual rubric for that. If you are within 920 points, then of course you will receive the letter grade of A. You will need a minimum of 919 points to get the B. I mean, a minimum of 840 points for a B and a minimum of 760 points for a C. But we hope that there are no C's in this class. Otherwise, you have references that are here in case you need on the syllabus. And if any of you who are on have questions regarding the syllabus, I will take those at this time. Okay, no questions. I will go into Blackboard. Let's look at the lectures tab. Under the lectures tab, you will see the first flyer that you may have received, which was an introductory flyer for this particular class. And then you will see all of the PowerPoints that are necessary to assist you with the various chapters. So you have chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. They are under the basics, concepts, and foundations. And then you will have technology in action. That's a pretty large group of chapters. And then you'll have the last section will be section 3, which will be planning and implementation. And as we talked about earlier, the financial planning for technology will be found in chapter 13. Each one of the assignments that you have, they connect with the chapter that we should be reading or studying at that particular time. So you should not have any problems moving from your chapter PowerPoint to actually executing the assignments that you may have. The assessments that will come along with this class, the rubrics for them, they are all listed under the assessments tab, and you will be able to look at those things. They will come up as you are they are actually due. So I will make sure that those all of the assessments populate so that you can see what is required for that under your assessments tab. In discussion board, you'll find that for this first week, you had several things that you had to do, and I think most people did master that. The course validation was very important because we have to send that information to the registrar's office, and I think most everybody completed that. And the nifty introductory video and the peer review, that information goes there. And of course, you have for week 2, chapter 1, introduction, and then week 3 is up at this particular time. I'm going to go over to assignments because the actual video is there too. And so this is where you actually should have posted your video first, where I get to look at it and kind of review it. And then in the discussion board, when you're for your peer review, you post your actual video, and then the second document that flows with that would be your reviewer posting what the review is, and they'll just make a note that this is the peer review for Ashley Thurman, and it was done by Elisa. So whatever way you all decide to do it, that's fine. But you can look in Blackboard, and I'm sure that when you look there, you'll be able to see the class attendees, and then you can decide who you want to partner with, and you just email that person. Do you have any questions about anything in regards to your assignments or discussion board or your syllabus or anything that we have covered so far?
Dr. Fields?
Yes.
With the nifty video, I don't know, I didn't check to see how many students are in the class. I have not posted mine yet. So is it okay if we post it? Should every person have someone different to do their review, or is it going to be maybe one person gets reviewed by two or three people?
I would like for everyone to use someone different. There are approximately 10 people in this class, so everybody should be able to select someone. Now, this is what I will say, because I do know how students operate. If it is that you are getting to your deadlines and everybody hasn't posted their information, or everybody doesn't have a reviewer available, then just use whoever is available that is willing to work with you to do your review. I'm not going to tell you to wait until all of them are posted. You know, if somebody has posted their video and you saw it, then you can ask them to review yours. And if it happens that there's more than one reviewer, that's fine. But I would like for everybody to at least have the opportunity to review somebody's different. But if it doesn't work out that way, I don't have a problem with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who is that? Because I don't see your name populated. I see, oh, hold up. I can probably tell you who you are. Nope, I don't have your phone number. I don't have the number that you're using, 6291. I don't have, oh, yes, I do. That's Cynthia Adams. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
No, but Cynthia Adams is on the line.
Okay, I see your number, Cynthia. Who am I speaking with Galaxy S9?
That's Elisa Thompson.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, Elisa. Let me go up here and put this by you, because I try to remember certain things about everybody so that I'll know who is who. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fields.
Yes. Okay. So the other thing is too, let me just say this to everybody that's on the call. This textbook is not a new edition. And the reason why I use this textbook is because there are a lot of basic principles in it that I have not found in the newer editions. I think that when you are on the ground floor working with technology, there are just some things that you need to know and have to have in place. Now, we will explore new techniques, and we will also explore different ways of doing things in the class. But for the theoretical purposes of this particular course, I have not found another textbook that will manage us in the manner that I think we need to be, especially working with school districts and dealing with technology planning. I think that this will probably be the better way for us to go. So that is why your textbook is dated as such. But, you know, I do continuously look for things to enhance this particular course. And if there's something that you all think of that you want to try or think of differently, then just let me know, and most definitely we will try to implement it. So are there any other questions at this time?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, you have access to me 24/7. I will go in and make sure that I have my information. I actually have 2 sections for EAM7999. I think there's a group that is in Greenville, and then I have the group that is registered for the South Carolina campus. So if something goes missing, I have to go back and make sure that I post the same thing in each one of the sections. But if you see, if there's a gap somewhere, then don't hesitate to send me a text message or either give me a phone call, because sometimes I may get confused between the 2 different sections. But I hope that you enjoy your, what is this, Labor Day holiday, and everyone be safe. And I think that you're at a good place in the class right now. So you should be able to have some time to do some things that you would like to do during your break.
Clean house. Yes, ma'am.
And if not,
Yeah.
just listen. So if that is not the case, then listen, whatever you're doing on Labor Day, just use that for your nifty video. That'll be fine too. You know, record your barbecue with your family or whatever it is that you have planned out. We'll take it.
All right.
Okay. You all take care, and I look forward to scheduling another Zoom session relatively soon. I'll probably just get with some of the other individuals enrolled in the class and see what works best for them. But have a good rest of the day.
You too.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Dr. Mills.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.